one-of-a-kind battle in a Broward courtroom. Prosecutors facing off against a man defending himself.
A man who claims he doesn't need a license to practice law, whose arguments would the jury believe? It's tonight's edition of Carmel on the Case.
44-year-old Anthony Williams was all smiles in court, charged with practicing law without a license.
Very simply, the state intends to prove through the presentation of evidence and documents that Mr. Williams is pretending to be a lawyer.
Williams operates an internet-based law firm. He was accused of acting as an attorney after he filed documents in a foreclosure case. Williams calls himself a private attorney general and a sovereign peace officer. Authorities call Williams a sovereign citizen. Believers think many laws do not apply to them.
You can't arrest nobody for a traffic violation.
Well, we are. Right now.
Last year, Williams posted this video of his arrest for driving without a license.
I'm also a foreign diplomat.
He says he doesn't need one. During that case, which took 8 months to conclude, he was taken to jail twice. First for failure to follow a judge's order, and then later for driving without a license a second time. In the end, he entered a no contest plea and paid a fine. But then, a month later, Williams was back in handcuffs, this time facing felony charges involving the unlicensed practice of law. When taken into custody at the airport, Williams was carrying his private attorney general ID, the badge, and handcuffs.
Y'all charging me with unlicensed practice of law, and I'm trying to understand what law are you charging me with unlicensed, because there's a whole bunch of law.
At trial, Williams represented himself.
The state have been very deceptive and misleading in what the real law is in the state of Florida.
He spent much of the time arguing with the judge.
And I've never given legal advice. I only give lawful advice. And there's a difference between legal and lawful.
You're arguing apples and oranges.
It took the jury 1 hour before returning the same verdict on all 10 charges.
The defendant is guilty of unlicensed practice of law as charged in the information.
It was bad news for Williams, and it was about to get worse. Judge Andrew Siegel sentenced him to 180 days in jail, 22 years probation, and ordered him to turn over his badges and ID.
He's prohibited from calling himself a private attorney general, an attorney, or implying in any which way, shape, or form that he has any ability to practice law.
As his supporters listened, Williams lashed out at prosecutors.
Both y'all state attorneys are crooks. Both of y'all criminals, and y'all don't pay for what you did. Jury was rigged. I will find out. And both of y'all going to jail.
But it is Williams who is in jail now, and he has more to think about than this case. According to authorities, he is currently being investigated for mortgage fraud. Carmel Cafaro, 7 News.
Good morning, everyone. VIRGOTRIAD here. It is April 18th, 2019. How many of you recall Anthony Williams, private attorney general? Not. Hilarious. There was a conversation that was going on in the comment section yesterday with regards to the lengths that this group of individuals being, I would say, under the umbrella of the sovereign citizen movement will go to in order to try to find a way to get out of the bullshit that they do. In order to try to justify the laws that they break, in order to try to make their fraud seem real. And we were cracking jokes about the fact that sooner or later, there's going to be someone who actually sues themselves because they don't know anything else that's left to do. And these people are absolutely 100% ignorant when it comes to actual laws. We'll just leave it at that for now. So one of the subscribers that is a very valuable and a very valuable contributor and someone who has been a part of this channel for going on 2 years now, I believe, Forward in Florida, came forward and said, hey, you know what? Actually, Anthony Williams did try to sue himself. So that's already happened. I actually took a look at this and I laughed so hard that I had to share it with you guys. I don't know how many of you have already seen this, but as you can see, this is on Scribd. I'm going to link it in the description area so you can read it for yourself. Sovereign citizen private attorney general Anthony Williams sues himself in federal court. So I was like, wow, this is great. It's so funny. I have to do a video on this because we thought we were being funny making these jokes. As it turns out, he's not alone. So in 1995, there was a sovereign by the name of Robert Lee Brock, an inmate who claimed he violated his own civil rights by getting arrested, filed a $5 million lawsuit against himself, then asked the state to pay because he had no income in jail. Robert Lee Brock, a prisoner at the Indian Creek Correctional Center in Chesapeake, filed a handwritten 7-page lawsuit in federal court. I partook of alcoholic beverages in 1993, July 1st. As a result, I caused myself to violate my religious beliefs. This was done by my going out and getting arrested, wrote Brock, who is serving 23 years for breaking and entering and grand larceny. I want to pay myself $5 million, he continued, but asked the state to pay it in my behalf, since I can't work and am a ward of the state. Judge Rebecca Beach Smith was unimpressed by Brock's I just can't even go any further. Anyway, it was dismissed. The lawsuit against himself was dismissed as frivolous. But I'll link this in the description also. The lunacy is just incredible. So I'm sitting here having a conversation with a person that was seriously asking actual real questions about UCC1 financial statements, which I really appreciate when somebody will come and say, hey, somebody recommended you for just a question. I need the truth about what a UCC financial statement really is. And I explained there are actually two different reasons that a UCC is used. And, you know, the other reason I don't go into very much, but there, you know, when there's a court order against someone, when a judge actually files a court order and says, okay, yeah, I'm going to let you put a lien against this person, and you've got a court order backing you up that a judge has signed, that would be another reason that a lien would be filed against someone. Taking into consideration what these people are telling people to do. So not everybody out there that is seeking this secret account mess that April Lejeune pushes and all of these other individuals push have bad credit. Not all of them. Not all of them are actually in debt up to their eyeballs. Some of them actually have good credit, and some of them are just looking for that stash of gold in the secret account. And as I've gone into before, that I don't know whether or not people realize this, or if they, you know, bother to take into consideration that it's probably taken you years to build up your credit report to where you might have it. And now you're going to file a piece of paper that is literally going to bottom out your credit score. And here's the reason why. When court documents are filed, and a lien is placed on you either through a judge or through a finance company, it matters not whether you default on it or not. It comes up in your credit report so that another financier can see it, and this way they know that you already have a lien against property, so there cannot be, without that person who's lending the money, who says, hey, it's okay, I'll accept a second lien position on the collateral. All right. But most of the time, someone who's going to finance money is not going to want to finance it based on collateral that somebody already holds a lien against. So let me put this in a more simplistic format for you. Let's say that you have a vehicle, and your vehicle is free and clear. and you have gone to an angel investor because you want to open a business, and that angel investor has agreed to lend you $10,000 and has agreed that they will take the car as collateral in the event that you default on the loan. They file a lien against the car showing that they are the first lien holder. Should you default, then they get to come and get the car and repossess it. Now, you find out that $10,000 is not enough for what you're wanting to do with your business. So you go to a second angel investor, and that angel investor says, yeah, I can't use your car as collateral because you've already used it and somebody's already got a first lien on it. I'm not willing to be a second lien holder, so you'll have to find some other type of collateral for me to hold on to. And the way that that second angel investor knows that is because they run a UCC lien search. Okay? That is what it is used for. All right? That's what it's used for. That's its proper use. So that angel investor can see it on your credit report. That angel investor can actually see it in the filing. They may not be able to see what the collateral is on the credit report, but they can see the amount. So if there is a lien that's on you, and it is something that has been filed against you by you, you are purposely ruining your chances of being able to receive credit at all. And see, the sickening thing about this scam that nobody seems to realize is that these people talk about the fact that if you get into the secret account, you can actually clear up your credit report by doing it this way. But in reality, all it does is clear up the debts for about 30 days while everything's in transition. And then bam, the minute that UCC1 hits and all of these things get reversed, all that debt's going to go back on your credit report plus whatever amount you put on that financial statement. So if you put $3 million, every single creditor that you go to from that point forward to get anything is going to see that you owe $3 million to someone, and they don't care who. So now what do you have to do? You have to go and you have to reverse that financial statement. You have to actually remove it from the court system, which costs money, by the way. So it costs like $24 to file it. Some places it only costs $7 or $8 to file it. But to remove it, in a place that it only costs $7 to file it, for example, to remove it costs over $50. And then it takes the credit bureau anywhere between 30 and 45 days for it to catch up to show that it's been removed. So there's no way to fix it immediately, and it can damage your chances of getting a car, getting a house, getting a signature loan. It can damage your chances of getting a job if they need your credit score to be of a certain FICO score in order to satisfy whatever their qualifications are, especially in the financial industry. So let's just think really hard about what these people are actually doing when they do these financial scams, all right? We have the UCC thing, which totally is the opposite of what they claim. There's no such thing as correcting your status. And as far as public versus private, let me tell you the difference. The difference is private is you're a regular freaking citizen, okay? You're a regular Joe walking around like the rest of us. Have a job, don't have a job, doesn't matter either way. You're a citizen. You're just like everybody else. Public means you've run for office, all right? You're out there in the public with a public persona. That's it. There is no way to change your quote-unquote status by doing paperwork. It's another bunch of bullshit. It's all made up. Public versus private, that's like Donald Trump before presidency, Donald Trump after presidency. Get it? That's it. That's the only thing that's going to change your status. So if you want to change your status from private to public, y'all, just go run for some office. That's all you have to do. This filing of bogus paperwork, it is, a lot of it is criminal. A lot of it is considered fraud. Filing against other people, like, for example, the threat that was being made by April's fake bogus paralegal against VIRGOTRIAD, whether you call it a business or a person or whatever, completely criminal, totally criminal. And in certain states, can get you up to 10 years in prison because you are actively attempting to conspire, in his case for sure, because he's conspiring with April Lejeune to do damage against someone. You're filing a false lien. So it's a pretty serious violation of laws, and these people just don't seem to get it. Don't seem to get it. As a matter of fact, a lot of these things that they file, a lot of these things that they do are exactly reversed from what they make claims of. It's really sickening. But this was a really funny situation to me. The fact that people actually are suing themselves. I mean, talk about being addicted to filing false paperwork. What a bunch of jackasses. All right, you guys, I just thought you might find this funny. I will link this article, and I will link the Anthony Williams case, which is hilarious, by the way, to read through. Gives you the history. You can download it from Scribd. There's also lots of other really good things on Scribd here that you can take a look at. Like there's documentation for pretend Judge Anna Von Reitz, whatever it is. There's a whole bunch of paperwork anyway over here that you can take a look at. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to take a look at it if they wanted to read it. It's funny to me, and I figured we could all use a really good laugh towards the end of the week here. We got one more day to get through, today and tomorrow actually, and we can maybe relax for the weekend a little bit. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Anything else pops up, I'll post it. And take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.